dropped Nuclear at the end of 2024, and you've said in the past that this next project marks an evolution in your artistry. What's played the biggest role in that development?
The biggest role in this development, I think, is probably the experience and the time that I've been doing this. I've been in the internet since 2006, 2007, so I have had plenty of time to learn and to go through the ups and downs and being in the industry and all that. And I think that was the biggest role in this project was that the experience that I've had and what's sort of come together to build this whole project.
Speaking of those ups and downs, you've had so much success already in your career. When you look back, is there a particular moment that stands out to you?
Oh my God, there's so many. Again, since 2007, so a lot of moments, I guess. But my beginnings on YouTube were obviously very important for me. When I first got into in the music industry and I started writing with other artists and then I started evolving and I got my first Billboard #1 and the first time I toured independently as an artist. There's like a bunch of milestones along my career that I think have been really, really important, and I try to remember them all because they're all very important, obviously, and they remind me where I come from.
What I love so much about your sound and your artistry is that there's such an interesting contrast and juxtaposition in the music where your lyrics hit emotionally, but the production keeps things really energetic and fun. And we hear that with both Nuclear and Fallen. How do you go into a session thinking about kind of striking that balance? What inspires that?
Usually, I try to start every song from a very minimalistic point of view. I think if the song itself works with just a guitar and a vocal or a piano and a vocal, then it's a good song, and then you can obviously dress it up however you want. But ultimately, I think the important thing for me is the song. It's all about the song, and then if it works at its bare bones. And then the production, the pop energetic production, that's just especially for this project because I grew up in Spain and my influences were basically top 40. I used to love listening to radio, and that's what sort of built, my ear, and that's what I loved about music. So that's kind of what I wanted to do, especially with this project. I wanted to go back to those beginnings and bring that pop sort of that made me fall in love with music into my own music.
Can hear that in your music. And there's also such a vividness that you write with your lyrics. What's played the biggest role in shaping kind of your storytelling and allowing you to craft these really immersive and detailed narratives? And do you have a favorite lyric that you've written?
A favorite lyric that I've written, that's hard, but if I had to pick one, um, overall from all the stuff that I've written, I probably had to be my song "Proud." It's from my previous project, but it's a very personal song, and it tells sort of it's a letter to my parents that I wrote during COVID, when I was leaving Spain to come here to the States, and sort of after those 10 years of me moving to the States, I always wondered if my parents were uh, proud of how far I've come to, or if they thought that I was going to be somewhere else, and even if that was the case, then would they still be proud if I didn't
Mm.
achieve what I was hoping to achieve? And it's the reason why I'm very proud of those lyrics is I think because they're the most vulnerable lyrics that I think I've ever written, and also they have a really strong power with it, like upon me, like every single time that I try singing that song, for whatever reason it is, it gets me extremely emotional, and most of the time I can't even finish the song, which it's never happened with any other song that I've written. I mean, there's plenty of songs that make me emotional, but that one, for some reason, just touched that specific string that just makes it really hard for me to sing. So it means it's special.
Yeah, I'm getting emotional just listening to you talk about that song. I'm sure your parents are definitely proud of you. And you've got a new single out now. Can you tell us a little bit about Falling and the inspiration behind
So
it?
Falling happened in a session in Miami with Mike and Gio, which are the producers of the song. And I remember that the day was quite crappy. It was like a really, really bad storm. It was pouring down. It was a night session. And we were sort of getting in the mood. You know, we once you're in the studio, you book the studio, you had to write a song. And so we were trying to get in the mood and we just started talking and I think the breakup theme sort of started happening, and I believe one of our producers was going through a pretty bad situation, and we started sort of channeling that anger and that state of mind, and one of the things that really resonated with me was that feeling of just wanting to sort of become numb to the feeling because it becomes
Mm.
so much and sort of when we resort to the drinking and to the sort of going out and start to like disassociate and that's sort of how the song started to come about and we all started digging deep you know to get that those lyrics out.
Speaking of sessions, I find it so interesting that as a songwriter, you've written for both yourself and for others. How do you decide what songs are meant to be for your own projects and which kind of you'll give away? How do you know if a song is calling to you?
Every time I write I try to look at it as if I was writing it for myself. I think it makes it easier in the process when you're writing a song because yes, you can write about anything, but in order to touch the real strings, like kind of what I was mentioning,
Mhm.
it sort of becomes easier when you start tapping into the internal experiences and something that's real, because that ultimately connects with the audience, I think, more effectively. But yeah, I usually try to think of every song as mine. Obviously, you know, if you're writing a booty shaking song, I mean, I won't, I'll try my best, but maybe, you know, that's when I know, but that's probably not for me. But um, but yeah, I try to tackle every song as if it was for me.
That's a gift that you have as a songwriter, where you can write from a personal standpoint, but it's so universal for your listeners and your fans. And Nuclear and Fallen are such incredible singles that are giving a really exciting glimpse into this upcoming project. What can you tease about what your fans can expect from it?
What they can expect from it is one, a full-length album, which I've never done, and I'm very, very excited. I had to say it was a lot of work, and it was a great experience to finally go through. But they can expect just more songs like this. I think there's a very good combination of the pop energetic with um, the more singer-songwriter ballad sort of thing, which is very true to who I am. But everything lives in a very nice cohesive universe, and they can expect sort of a full sort of story within the whole piece of work.
Outside of these two singles, this might be a strange question, but if you had to,
Vocals, sorry, I forgot. And
what?
vocals, and plenty
Yeah.
of vocals.
You know, outside of these two singles, if you had to select a song off the upcoming project that best encompasses who you are as an artist right now, which would it be and why?
Oh God, that's so hard. One song out of the project. I mean, I feel like the whole project is sort of who I am right now, because, um, and it sounds like such a BS answer, but it really is, because as an artist and as someone that sort of started doing covers and like try to tackle every different kind of song to make it my own, right? Um, One of the hardest things has probably been to like consolidate all that I am as a songwriter and as an artist into one project and being like, okay, this is who you are, at least right now, and this is who you want to present, who like what do you want to present to the world as you. And to be fair, I think that Nuclear and Fallen are great examples of sort of that path that I was going for. Um, and I love both of them because they sort of show the two sides of the coin,
Hmm.
where Nuclear was very much the energetic love sort of happy feeling versus uh Fallen being still energetic and pop, but also the more angry side, breakup side, still keeping that essence of the song and the pop and the vocals in it. Um, and yeah, and then you'll have to listen to the rest of the project to get the full picture.
Yeah, that's a great teaser. I also love albums because it's a time capsule of the artist that you are at that moment. And I think the beautiful thing about music is that you're continually discovering new things about your artistry. And like you were saying, this is the first full-length project that you've worked on. What was the most surprising part about the experience outside of it being very difficult to bring to life? And what will you take from this project that you'll bring to the next?
Oh, that's a great question. The most difficult part was probably making the song selection. Um, there were obviously a bunch of other songs that didn't make the cut, but it was very, it was hard, but also exciting to sort of be like, okay, I'll get to choose my best songs for my project.
Mm.
And I absolutely loved doing that. And I think what I take from this album for to the next would be the experience of doing it all and sort of gathering the songs and putting it all together. As I was doing it, it already sort of started giving me ideas for the next one, which I'm already, in the making. Um, but it sort of gives me that perspective of like, okay, you have all these songs now. Um, you had to go through the process of figuring out what the sound of this whole thing is as you go. Um, like this experience sort of just helps me create the full picture of the next one from the very beginning. Versus with this one, I think it was a little more like I got a few songs that I was like in love with, and then I sort of had to build around them. Versus like starting from point zero, let's build this thing completely.
I feel like that's so funny. Like artists, when they finish one project, they're immediately started thinking about the kind of the next one. And with the album dropping later this year, can we expect you back on the road as well? And you touched upon this already, but with the vocal range that's required for all of your songs, is it ever daunting to bring that to life on a stage?
No, I mean, I have been performing for a minute as well, and I think the the daunting thing is not so much the singing, but the traveling and the non-sleeping, and that's the part that actually takes the biggest toll on your vocal cords versus like
Mhm.
having to sing, for 2 hours or whatever it is. At the end of the day, on a normal studio session, I can be singing for 8 hours nonstop because I'm recording song after song. So um, it's more so the behind the scenes that affect your vocals so much more, I think. But what we can expect, hopefully, I'm working really hard to get myself on the road. I'm not sure if it's going to be like let's go all over the world, but I'm definitely trying to hit some key markets right when the album comes out.
We definitely need to see you on the road. And then we just like to end all of our interviews with a pop culture speed round. Is there a band or artist that fans would be surprised to learn is on your playlist?
Huh. I don't know. I feel like I mean, I'm top 40. I literally listen to anything top 40, so I don't think they will be very surprised. I'm pretty predictable in that sense. Sorry, I'm boring.
No, you're good. What about the first album that you ever bought or streamed?
Oh my God. The first album that I bought, I think it was Breakaway by Kelly Clarkson.
Mm, wow, it's a good
Is it?
throwback.
Yeah.
What about the first concert you ever attended?
Oh my God. This one is kind of a flex. I was a very late concert goer, and the first concert that I went to was Beyonce. It was in Florida, and it was the when she released Four, I believe. And there's a crazy picture when she goes around the crowd. uh, giving the mic for people to sing Irreplaceable. And I was right there, and she handed me the mic, and there's a picture of her handing me the mic and me singing to the mic, which is pretty epic.
That's incredible. That's setting the bar really, really high.
First concert too. I was like, oh my God, okay, maybe I shouldn't go to anymore.
What about an album that changed your life and why?
An album that changed my life. I think it would have to be um Adele 21. I became obsessed with that album and sort of like every single song in it, the songwriting, the production, the mixing, the mastering, um, just sort of it blew my mind the more and more I listened to it, and it sort of gave me a new standard for
Mm.
recording.
You can hear those influences in the way that you write and also the your own vocal prowess. We were talking about touring earlier. Is there a venue that's on your bucket list to perform at?
Oh my God, I would love to perform at Red Rocks.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks so epic. I would absolutely love to perform there.
Yeah, I'm saving my like that's a venue I also want to go and attend and see a show. So I'm saving one for it. So maybe we'll see you at Red Rocks eventually. And then final question for you: when you're on the road, what's a must-have?
A must have. Oh, that's great. Sleep, no. Good pillow, a steamer, throat coat tea and honey. I mean, those are pretty good essentials right there. Yeah.
Yeah, something that like reminds you of home and something that keeps your voice rested and strong.